I think there's two ways that can go. They're either going to reduce everything they were going to do because they're so unpopular and make it a beige budget, well, that contains nothing really, more the status quo. Or do you think they're still going to implement their drastic budget? What do you think they're going to do? Because I'm not sure.
How can they turn around now and possibly say, actually, we're not going to increase, allegedly £40 billion worth of taxes? We're not going to do that because they've done nothing but spin that yarn since they got elected, saying, oh, we found a 22 billion black hole.
I'll tell you how they'll do that. They'll do that by saying there is a black hole and we're looking at cost savings. We're going to grow the economy. And what we decided is the taxpayer, the working people, should not have to fill that black hole that was left by the Tory party. So we're here protecting you like we said we were going to do. So people have said that we're going to make you pay, and we're decided now in a budget, it's not fair that you should pay and fill this hole. That's how they'd spin that.
All right, that could work. It could work. But then if you see some of the latest stories that are coming out about this budget where they're going to increase the taxation on employers' pension contributions for their employees. So, but they're going to exempt public sector workers, including no shock, including themselves, of course, politicians, government ministers, civil servants, NHS workers, etc. But they're going to tax the ass out of the private sector again. I mean, yeah, what you've just said makes a lot of sense. They could spin it like that. But when Rachel Reeves has been so on the ball about this, I mean, they don't want to say it anymore now. They don't want to come out with this 22 billion figure because it's essentially crap. But they've been saying it that much now. And then Rachel Reeves made it worse, I think, a couple of weeks ago when she came out and said, we're going to have to find over 100 billion in the next 4 years. But then you've got the Treasury that will not answer freedom of information requests and a breakdown for this black hole. So essentially, it's been proven to be a lie, because if it really was there, they'd have said by now, wouldn't they? They'd have given a breakdown of that black hole. And I don't see how they can't raise taxes. They're sending 12 billion abroad for, in my opinion, climate rubbish to other countries. They've given out at least 14 billion pounds in pay rises to public sector, with more strikes on the way. They've borrowed 6.7 billion more than what the OBR predicted, the Office of Budget Responsibility predicted, and they borrowed 1.2 billion more this month than the Tories did this time last year. I just don't see how they can possibly carry on with the money they're spending, yet telling us we're skint. You can't have the two.
I think you're right. I think if this 22 million billion black hole, if that existed and they knew where that money went, they would be on the news all the time explaining it penny for penny about how the Tories wasted it, how the Tories did this, how the Tories did that. And they would be stacking it all up in a column, then adding it up and going, showing you 22 billion. But because they won't go into it, we know they're just lying and making stuff up.
We've seen, I mean, it's very minimal. We have seen small green shoots of growth in the economy. And now the forecasts are actually being downplayed because of the decisions made by Reeves and this Labour government, because obviously they've spread a lot of fear into the markets. Nobody wants to invest in Britain at the moment. So the money that they anticipated they'd be able to get through certain bits of growth or employees or taxing non-doms, etc., that's all gone. VAT on private schools, they're going to end up paying it all out and more because they're now all claiming back the VAT for the last decade, which you're allowed to do for any capital projects they've completed. So everything they've come up with has backfired on them. They're not going to make a penny out of anything they've come up with so far.
And it's because they only think like sixth formers debating socialism at a college. They think, oh, let's tax the rich people, we'll get more money, we can help the poor people. But what they fail to realize is actions have consequences. Rich people have lots of options. Rich people also have very clever accountants. Rich people can move their money around the world now. They can move themselves around the world so much easier than ever before. And they just don't comprehend that. They just see simple 2 + 2 is 4.
You know, if I earn more than 52 grand, I end up paying 40% tax. I think it's 40. Yeah, it's 40%, isn't it? I end up paying 40% tax. I know I've made this point before on your show. I'd like to know how Starmer made £404 in a year, £404,000 in a year, his parliamentary salary plus leader of the opposition plus doing legal work on the side, and only paid 99 grand in tax, which is less than 25%. I'd like to know how Rishi Sunak paid the same level of tax. Nobody is talking about this in the media. But if I'd earned that sort of money, when you earn over 125 grand, is it? When you earn over that, you pay even more tax. Is it something like 45% tax rate, something like that?
Top rate, yeah.
Yeah. So how are these people not paying that?
That's because they have very clever accountants. So
yeah, but they shouldn't be allowed to, should they? Because they're telling me and you
yep.
that if you earn so much, you're going to pay a ridiculous amount of tax, and they're earning 10, 20, 30 times more than what me or you would ever earn.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy.
Me certainly.
it's the hypocrisy, isn't it? That's what always annoys the public. Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.